Hi, this is Amy Romeo from the jewelry making and craft blog earirngs.com, and on this channel I share fun and easy jewelry making and craft projects. If you're a baseball fan or a baseball mom like me, then this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing my original SVG earring designs with you and showing you how to make these great baseball earrings with a Cricut. I'll show you how to customize them with a player number, with your team colors, and even make them into softball earrings. So if you're ready to learn how to make these, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, and let's get started. So I'll be giving you a few different designs for these baseball earrings, but they're all made the same way. There's faux leather on the bottom, which is the white baseball shape, and then heat transfer vinyl cut and pressed on top. So I'll be using my Cricut Maker to make these, but you could also use the Explore Air 2 or the Cricut Joy, and I have a faux leather earring making video with the Joy that I'll link to for you if that's the machine you're using. I'll use a strong grip cutting mat, the purple one for the faux leather, and a green standard grip cutting mat to cut the heat transfer vinyl, blue painter's tape to tape the faux leather down to the purple mat, a weeding tool, some craft scissors, and to press, I'll be using the Easy Press Mini. You could also use an iron on low heat with no steam or an Easy Press. I'm using an Easy Press pad to protect my surface, and then a cover sheet. This is a Teflon sheet cut down to size, or you could use parchment paper. The earring designs I'm giving you already have the holes cut out, but if the Cricut doesn't cut the hole all the way through, which happens often, I like to use a 1/16 inch hole punch just to finish off the earring hole. To attach the earring hooks, I'll be using 2 pair of flat nose pliers, and then just 6mm jump rings and traditional earring hooks. I'll also be showing you a knotted earring style, and this piece is just a 20mm ribbon clamp. This is a sort of half moon shape, and they also come in a flat rectangle shape. For the faux leather, I like this smooth white faux leather from Amazon. You could also use pebbled or textured if that's what you have. This has sort of a felt back, and I will be adding some foil iron-on to the back of the earrings to add some color and interest. I have a whole video on how to do that, and I will link to that for you. And then for the laces and the numbers, you can use any heat transfer vinyl you'd like, solid or iron-on or glitter. The last thing you'll need is the baseball SVGs for these earrings, and those are in my free resource library on my blog at amyromeo.com. They will be design number 174. So let me show you quickly how to grab those from my resource library, and then we'll get started making these really fun earrings. To get my free SVG cut files for these baseball earring designs, they're in my resource library on my blog, which is at amyromeo.com. And on the main menu bar, you will see the resource library tab. If you already have the password to the library, you will click there and go into the library and look for design number 174. If you don't have a password yet, it's very easy to get. You'll just click here on get a password. You'll let me know the email address I should send the password to, and you'll receive an email right away with the password. You'll just return here, click on resource library, and again find that file number 174. When you locate the file in the library, you will click on it and it will instantly download a zipped folder containing all of the design files for this project. You'll need to unzip the folder before you upload the loose SVG files to Cricut Design Space. If you need help with this process, I will link to a help page on my website for you in the description box below. Once you have the unzipped and loose SVG files from my download, you can upload them to Cricut Design Space. I'll click upload, and I've already uploaded these, so there are 3 files. One has the baseball shapes, and then 2 of them have perfectly sized numbers that you can apply to the shapes if you'd like to. So I will start with the baseball shapes, and I will insert those onto my canvas. There are quite a few shapes here and designs. If you don't want to cut certain shapes, you can either delete the layers entirely, or you can click on the little eye icon to hide those layers so they won't cut. These earrings are already sized well for earrings, but if for some reason you wanted to enlarge them or make them smaller, then that would change the pre-cut earring hole size. So in that case, you will want to hide this earring hole so it doesn't cut. And let me show you how to do that. You will click on the earring hole layer and then click contour and just click on the little earring hole, and that will hide it. Close that screen and you'll see now it's gone. So let me pop that back in there just by clicking it again. Contour is a really cool feature that I use a lot, and I get this question a lot about how to hide earring holes. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. So down here, there are 4 little word designs. These are not editable. They're already formatted just for cutting. If you wanted to add your own text, you certainly could by using the text tool in Cricut Design Space, or you can use one of these. I wanted to quickly go over the different colors on the mat here. Every color in Cricut Design Space will cut on its own mat. So I've colored items differently that are different materials. So the white is the faux leather layer. The red will cut from red heat transfer vinyl. This black you can cut from any color, but it will cut on its own mat from a different heat transfer vinyl color. And this blue here, I will be cutting from chunky glitter. So each different color gets its own mat. The last thing I wanted to show you was if you wanted to make these softball earrings, an easy way to do that is to click on the bottom white faux leather shape and just duplicate it. So you're making a copy of it, and then just color that yellow. And I would recommend using this fluorescent yellow Caesar Easy Weed and cutting this yellow shape on its own mat from the heat transfer vinyl, and then pressing that heat transfer vinyl layer onto the white faux leather layer, which will make a softball for you. And then you can add your other heat transfer vinyl layers as you wish. You'll obviously need 2 of these, so you'll have to copy both of the bottom shapes and cut them from yellow. So now that we've gone over that, I will delete that one. And I wanted to show you how to add a number and also how to add a word. So let's say I wanted to use the word mom. First I need to ungroup all of the layers, and this mom, I can just drag it up here, and to arrange it I'll need to bring it to the front. You could make it a little bigger or smaller if you'd like to. And once you've got it perfectly sized, then just duplicate it and you can drag it to the other side. Don't worry too much about lining these up perfectly in here in Cricut Design Space. They will cut, the words will cut separately from the baseball, and you will be pressing them and lining them up manually before you heat press them. So that's when it's important to get them lined up right. So here are these little moms ready to go, and I'm going to bring in some numbers. So I will click on one of my number files and bring them in. As I said, these are just already sized and they're no longer editable numbers, so they're basically objects that can easily be cut. If I wanted to use any of these numbers, I first need to ungroup them, and I will pick this little 1 here and just pop it over here. If you're using this little 1 on a larger shape like the teardrop, you can always drag it and make it larger or smaller. I wanted to size these numbers so they're perfectly sized for the earrings, whether you're using a single digit number or a double digit number. So I'm going to drag this right down here. Again, size it first and then duplicate it. Now I've got my second number, and I don't need any of these other numbers, so I will go ahead and delete them, because we don't want to cut those. Let me zoom out a little bit, and I will be deleting these. Okay, so these are all of my shapes, and I'm ready to click the Make It button. Cricut Design Space has already separated out the different mats for me based on the color I made the layer in Design Space. So the first white mat is going to cut from faux leather, and I have dragged my shapes around from the way Cricut automatically laid them out for me. both so that they're away from this left edge, because this is where one of the roller wheels rolls over, and I don't want it to make indentations in my material, and also just to sort of minimize how much faux leather I'm wasting by putting them all in sort of a little block that's neatly arranged. So here I can see I will need a piece of white faux leather about 9 inches wide and about 5 inches tall. Then this layer I will be cutting from glitter heat transfer vinyl, and because these are words and numbers, I need to mirror this mat because the heat transfer vinyl will cut those in reverse. This layer I will cut from chunky glitter, and this layer I will cut from regular heat transfer vinyl. So these larger laces are for the knot earrings, and those cut really well from glitter heat transfer vinyl when I made the samples. These smaller laces did not cut very well from glitter. So if you are going to be making these earrings, I would recommend using solid heat transfer vinyl, so not glitter, for the smaller laces. But if you do want to use glitter, you can use that on these larger ones. I will click continue. And your material settings will vary based on the material that you're choosing. But for the faux leather mat and also the chunky glitter mat, I will be using the faux leather paper thin setting. This setting works with the regular fine point blade that comes with your Cricut Maker, the Explorer Air 2, and the Cricut Joy. I'm not using the knife blade or the deep point blade or any special blade, just the regular fine point blade. So if you don't have this setting, you can click Browse All Materials and search for it. I use this setting with the more pressure setting. The layer that I will cut from glitter heat transfer vinyl, I will use glitter vinyl, and I will use the default pressure and just repeat the cut as needed. The faux leather mat, I will use more as the pressure and repeat the cut. I'll show you how to do that when I actually cut that mat. And then for the laces, again, it will depend on the material that you're using. These are pretty intricate, so I like the washi sheet setting for intricate cuts. I'll use default pressure and then repeat as needed. So let me show you how to set up the faux leather mat and cut that out, and then we'll assemble these earrings. I'm ready to cut the faux leather mat for the baseball earrings. I have Cricut Design Space all ready to go with the material selection of faux leather paper thin with more pressure. And I've cut a piece of the white faux leather to size. This is the pretty side. And on the back side, I've already pressed some red Cricut foil iron-on the back. And that is going to allow me to cut the shapes with the backing already on to get perfect placement and also add some interest and color to the back of the earrings. I'm using foil iron-on because it's very thin and it cuts well on top of the faux leather. You could also use solid heat transfer vinyl, but if you wanted to use glitter, which is thicker, I would recommend using a different technique. I cover both techniques in my video on what to put on the back of faux leather earrings, and I will link to that for you so you can check that out. So I'm going to place the faux leather pretty side down on my mat in the location I noted in the mat preview screen. And then with regular blue painter's tape, I'm going to tape down on all sides. Be sure this is pressed down well. So here's that wheel I told you that I didn't want to roll over the foil. It'll make an indentation in the foil if it goes under this. And I also have the star wheels moved off to the right out of the way so they don't roll over the faux leather either. And just press the double arrow button to load the mat. Again, I'm just using the regular fine point blade, and we'll go ahead and hit the C button to begin the cut. So once the cut's complete, I always like to check the cut with my sharp weeding tool before I unload the mat. And this looks like it cut pretty well. You can just kind of lift up a little corner If the faux leather didn't cut all the way through, which happens a lot and is totally fine, you can press the C button to repeat the cut as long as you haven't unloaded the mat. But this looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat, and I'll show you how. We just kind of pop these out. And there will be a couple little fuzzies and things that we need to trim. Maybe a couple little tiny parts get stuck, but that's okay. And you'll see where the hole is. So even though the hole didn't cut all the way through, now I know where the hole is because of the little cut mark, and I'll be able to just punch those holes. So I'm going to pop out all of these faux leather earring shapes, trim them up with scissors, and then I will return to Cricut Design Space and cut the vinyl mats, the heat transfer vinyl, and then I will show you how, once I've got those all weeded, how we assemble these earrings. Okay, so I've cut and weeded my heat transfer vinyl mats, and I've cut all of the baseball laces and the numbers and the word mom. I did end up cutting these the knot earrings, the laces out of glitter, just because it's really pretty and I wanted to show you a different option. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how we attach the laces to the faux leather. And here's the chunky glitter teardrop that I cut. That was the layered earring. This was the blue layer on Design Space. So I've just matched up my laces ahead of time, just kind of pressed them on, have it sit there. I'm going to put it on my pressing pad and cover with my Teflon sheet. And I have my Easy Press Mini set at the lowest setting, and I'm just going to press. I like to move the Easy Press around a little and just press for about 5 to 7 seconds. You don't want to press too hard or else you'll flatten the faux leather, and then just kind of peel carefully away. If it doesn't peel cleanly or if the heat transfer vinyl lifts up, then just place it back down and press again. So there's that one. And there's that one. I've already punched my holes with the 1/16 inch hole punch. It works just like a paper punch. It's very easy to do. You just sort of line it up with where the Cricut made most of the hole and punch. Okay, so then I wanted to show you how to attach the earring hook. So I have some 6mm jump rings. This is the size that I prefer, but you could use a 5mm if necessary. And I've got a regular shepherd's hook earring. And the first thing that I need to do is turn the bottom loop on the shepherd's hook earring. So instead of looking facing that way, it needs to face sideways, and that will help our earrings hang straight. So let me show you how to do that. I use 2 pair of pliers, 2 pair of flat nose pliers. I'm going to grip the hook in my thumb and forefinger so that the loop sticks out here, and then with flat nose pliers I will grip, holding both sides very firmly, and turn. And then you can see how the earring loop has a different orientation. So now that we've turned our hooks, we're just going to use 2 pairs of pliers to open up the jump ring. Slide on the back layer, slide on the top layer. I like to hold on to both with my pliers. Slide on the hook and close it back up. So let me show you for these little hearts. I'll do the same thing. So these are a little warm. I'm going to let them cool for just a second before I punch the holes and attach the earring hooks. but I did want to show you how I made these into softball earrings. So I suggested using the Caesar Easy Weed in the fluorescent yellow color, and I actually don't have any on hand, but I do have this neon yellow glitter, and I'll link to this along with all the other materials in the description box. But I just cut 2 circles, so basically the baseball shape. I duplicated the baseball shape in Cricut Design Space and cut 1 layer from faux leather and 1 layer from the heat transfer vinyl. And I'm just going to press it on the circle first to make it softball color. So normally you wouldn't want to press regular heat transfer vinyl on top of glitter heat transfer vinyl. Usually you only press glitter on top of regular, but these are earrings and they won't be going through the wash or anything like that, so it's okay in this case. I just line up the laces. And again, you don't want to press too hard or for too long. And now I'm going to add the word mom to this one. And then for these knot ones, it's really a long strip of faux leather, which I have here, and I'm going to press the laces on top, and then we will tie a simple knot. I'm going to show you 2 different versions with this one design. I have a little longer cut piece of parchment paper, of Teflon sheet. So then for these, what I did is I made a basic overhand knot, just 1 knot. And this will take a little fiddling around and practice to get the knot to look the way you want it to. So it's just a basic knot, and then you want the 2 ends to meet. And then I will place it inside one of these 20mm ribbon clamps. And gently squeeze with my pliers. And that's that. And then I'll do the same thing, attach the jump ring and the earring hook. And I wanted to show you another cute idea. If I cut this in half, then I can make 2 smaller earrings, just folding it in half. And I'll show you the other ribbon clamp. Get those sides lined up. And again, just clamp down. And that's a little bit of a smaller look. This is a bolder look. So I hope you like this project and you're going to make some baseball earrings. I can't wait to see them. I'm going to finish up these samples so I can take a photo of them, and I can't wait to see what you make. I hope you like this project and you're going to make some baseball or softball earrings for yourself or for the moms on your team. Don't forget to grab the earring SVG templates from the free resource library on my blog. I'll leave a link for you in the description box below. And I can't wait to see your team earrings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.